I had a shower and took my guitar to try my luck singing on the streets of Barcelona. I made about 20 euros in 1 hour. Not bad, not good. The next 5 days I had a routine of going busking. Busking means singing on the streets for money. Spending the money that I earned on crisps, chocolate, cake and more crisps. Going back to the hostel and reading a book while eating lots of crisps, chocolate, cake and more crisps. It had to stop. I was bored, I was lonely, and desperately wanted to start travelling. But I had no money. You needed at least 1,000 euros to start travelling, is what I thought. Until the day I met Alexis from Texas. Yes, I know, Alexis from Texas. I love it. She was a sun-bleached blonde with beautiful blue eyes and a face that never stopped smiling. And she was the woman that changed my life and showed me how to be free. I met her in the little hostel kitchen where I was cooking spaghetti barefoot in my AC/DC shirt. She was talking to a guy called Zach, a soldier from America, and I already really loved her energy, all bubbly and full of emotions and joy. I joined in their conversation and we ended up talking for ages. She had been travelling for 5 months, hitchhiking from Spain to Morocco, sailing with some dude in Portugal, working at a yoga retreat and being paid in weed, and had walked 100 miles from the mountains along the coast to Barcelona, and all sorts of other cool stuff. She was my inspiration. I told her that I also wanted to travel, but I was trying to save some money before. "What do you need money for?" she asked me. "You've got your guitar, you can sing wherever you are. Food you can steal with your magic handbag." I had told her about my Mary Poppins bag. "And to get to Portugal or wherever you want, you can just hitchhike. Let's go on a little trip for a few days. But I have to be back for the 9th of October. That's my birthday. My boyfriend and my friend Brittany are coming to meet me in Barcelona." "Yes, I'd love to," I answered, super excited. We had to leave the hostel anyway, the receptionist had just told us, because the whole place was infested with bed bugs, and they had to fumigate everything. Perfect timing for a little trip. I still had about 50 euros, so I went into the city to buy a tent, and the next day we took the train for free to a place somewhere beside the sea. Chapter 1. Hobo travelling rule number 1. If you don't really need it, don't take it. I had not mastered the art of minimalistic living yet. My backpack was ridiculously heavy. The sleeping bag and guitar strapped outside my pack, I looked like a fucking donkey. We walked up the coast path where bushes and olive trees lined our way. The air salty and sweet, the sea beautiful and blue beneath us. After about 15 minutes, we reached the top where the wind as hot as a hairdryer welcomed us. Exhausted from our little hike with my 20-kilogram backpack, I unstrapped my load and fell thankfully to the dusty ground. Alexis was not even out of breath. I guess if you just hiked 100 kilometers, 15 minutes up a hill is not much. She put her backpack next to mine and wandered off. I stayed exactly where I was, looking up to the clear blue sky that was turning light orange as the sun moved closer to the mountains. A few meters from my resting place, there were some unfinished buildings. They had the basic structure, roofs and floors and some outside walls, but no windows or doors or stairs. "Carrie!" I heard Alexis shout. I looked around, not sure where her voice was coming from. "Where are you?" "In our new home for the night, up here." I looked up to the unfinished building to see Alexis waving at me, smiling a proud smile. "The view is amazing from here. You got to come up." The tiredness suddenly forgotten, I jumped up and ran around the building, looking for a way to get up. It was about 5 meters to the first floor where Alexis was waiting, but there were no stairs anywhere. They hadn't been built yet. "How did you get up?" I yelled. "There's a little tree on the left side over there that you can climb." I found it and climbed it. The view was perfect. The sea in front of us and mountains in the distance on our right. Looking at each other, we smiled big, huge, happy smiles, feeling excited about our perfect little home for the night. Alexis went down to collect some firewood while I prepared dinner. 2 potatoes, half an onion, garlic and baguette with olive oil and salt, and guacamole. We just lay the potatoes into the fire until the skin was burnt and the inside was nice and soft. After our dinner, the air cooled down and the wind began to calm. We lay in our sleeping bags watching the storm that had appeared over the sea on our HD quality widescreen panorama view TV. The movie was like nothing I had ever seen. Far out on the sea, dark, almost black clouds were accompanied by bright lightning. To the left of us, there was a big, colourful rainbow, and to the right, the sun was just beginning to set behind the mountains. What? It was too perfect to be true. We lay there in silence, both lost in our thoughts. The fire only a little red glimmer in front of our feet. We slowly fell asleep. The sun had been up for a while by the time I got up. I think it was about 9 a.m. I didn't know, and anyway, why did I care? I was a vagabond, a hobo, free to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. I wanted to pee, as you do first thing in the morning. Alexis was already up and about doing stuff. I think she had even gone swimming already. "Let's go into the village," she said, full of enthusiasm and energy, while cleaning the fireplace. Her happiness was infectious. I smiled and said, "Yes, let's do that. I bet they have a shop where Mary Poppins and me can get some crisps and biscuits. I just need a pee before we go." I walked towards the edge of the first floor that we had called our home for the night and stuck my butt out. If I would wobble only a little bit, I would fall 5 meters to the ground. So don't wobble, Carrie. I didn't wobble and survived my morning pee. We left our backpacks in the abandoned house. I hid my guitar in the bushes just in case, and we hiked down the mountain to the little seaside town. It was almost like flying without my big backpack and guitar. The town was almost empty, except for a few lazy cats sunbathing on the walls. We walked along the beach, the sand warm and soft beneath our feet, the motion of the waves steady and calm. Close to the beach, there was a small supermarket that was open. I went inside without Alexis. Her visa had run out a few months ago, so she was basically illegal, and I didn't want her to get deported just for a pack of biscuits. There was only a young woman with short blonde hair and an arm full of silver bracelets working in the shop, and she was reading a magazine. There was a round mirror that was put up in the corner of the shop so the person working at the till could see if anyone was stealing. My trick was to also use the mirror to see if anyone was looking at me. She was not in the slightest bit interested in the vagabond that was putting 3 packs of Oreos, 1 bar of chocolate, 2 packs of nuts, and an avocado into her magic Mary Poppins bag. I thought of buying something like I usually do to not seem so obvious, but I didn't have a lot of money, and the girl working in the shop hadn't looked at me once. I thought I'd just risk it. I walked out, then felt super nervous. I felt the urge to run, but that would have been a bit obvious. So I just walked very fast. "Let's get out of here," I said to Alexis. She must know that I stole lots of things. Why hadn't I bought at least a bottle of water? That was really stupid of me. I still had enough money to buy a bottle of water. Did she see you stealing?" Alexis asked, probably wondering why I seemed so nervous. No, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't have a good feeling. She might know. Let's just get out of here. When we turned the corner and the shop was out of sight, we started running towards the beach. It wasn't far, and when we finally reached the beach that was completely out of sight of the shop, we let ourselves fall onto the sand and started giggling. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I think I just totally overreacted," I admitted in between another fit of giggles. We sat there for a while, sharing our biscuits with some brave seagulls that came so close we could almost touch them. Then decided to go back to our little house. As we reached the other side of the beach, the shop was in sight again, and there was a police car parked right in front of it. We looked at each other, a bit shocked. A second ago, we had felt so sure that nobody had noticed anything. Fuck! She must have seen us and called the police. Straight away, I took the rest of my yummy things out of the bag and threw them into the nearest bush. Then we ran. Alexis must have been scared because of her non-existent visa. We ran up the mountain and hid behind a tree in the shade, from where we could see the whole village. The police car was still at the shop. We sat. We waited. The car didn't move. We sat. We waited. The car still didn't move.